Okay, welcome everyone. We'll now call the meeting to order. I'll read the land acknowledgement statement. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe people. We wish to recognize the long history of Indigenous people in Canada and show our respect to them today. We recognize their stewardship of the land. May we all live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship. Moving on to the regular meeting. Could I have a motion to approve the agenda for this evening? By Bill, seconded by Brad. All in favor? Disclosure of any pecuniary interest this evening. I myself have a pecuniary interest in item 4.1 this evening and will be excusing myself and turning the meeting over to Brad for item 4.1 of the new business. Okay, could we have a motion to adopt the minutes as circulated? Brad? Second by Robert. Thank you. All in favor? Carried. Any business arising from those minutes? Seeing none, statement of precedent. Any decision reached by this committee tonight cannot be used to set a precedent. Okay, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Brad now for item 4.1.
Item 4.1, application for minor variance, file number A18-2020, located at 295 A Avenue South of the Bristol Ward. Present your report. Yeah, it's on now. Yes, Jerica? She got it.
Sorry, I couldn't really hear what was going on after
Yeah,
Bruce stopped
I think
speaking.
my mic was off.
Okay, but can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Perfect, and you guys are ready for my presentation?
Yes, please.
All right, thank you, committee. I'm just going to share my screen. My apologies for not being able to join you tonight. Thankfully, we still have the virtual option. So this application is E18 2022. It's been filed by Todd Wilkin on behalf of Shirley Lee, who is the property owner. And it's happening on lands known as 295 Hay Avenue South. And this is in Listowel, close to Mitchell Road South and Main Street West. It's an interesting application because you can kind of see how the lands have developed here. So 295 Hay Avenue South was actually back in the day the last lot in the development of Hay Avenue South until Napier Street West was constructed quite a few years later. And the reason we're here today is because the property owner would like to build an attached garage to their home so that they can store their car there in the winter and take down this storage shed in the backyard just so they're able to store everything in one spot. To do so, initially, the applicant didn't think there would be an issue just because of how far away they were from Napier Street until a survey was obtained and it was recognized that the property line, which is much further in than previously imagined. So the variance tonight is to go from 6 meters for an exterior side lot line, which is a side lot line that fronts onto a street, to 1.52 meters. So as I kind of relayed earlier, the property line is much further from the street allowance than on average. I inquired into building whether there might be a technical reason for this. If you zoom out and compare the property line to other lots on Napier Street, it doesn't conform to any. Most properties are set back at least 5 meters from the street, and in this case, we're about 8 meters back. Outside of the all the other reasons I kind of went through, I think it might have just been the way that the plan of subdivision kind of fell back in the day, which happens from time to time. And per usual, I can go out and take as many site photos as I believe necessary, and I just don't get the right angle that I'm looking for. So the photo on the left is actually submitted by the applicant. I believe they took it back in March. So the yellow door you can kind of see there, that shed is going to be coming down, and where you see the white door of the residence, that is going to be where the attached garage is going to come out. The garage is not going to be any larger than the existing driveway. And this is just kind of the site plan that was submitted in your application package. So as we know, for minor variances, they have to meet the 4 tests of Section 45 of the Planning Act, which are conforming to the official plan, conforming to the intent of the zoning bylaw, even if we're not following the bylaw exactly, the intent is still there, whether or not it's minor in nature, and whether or not it's desirable development for the region. In this case, the biggest question was kind of, can we qualify as minor when we're taking such an abrupt deviance from the zoning bylaw? So we are going from 6 to 1.52, which is about a 4-meter variance. I believe that in this case, especially considering how we received no comments back from anyone who had any issues with the application, I do think it will, even though it's not considered numerically minor, the change can be considered minor. And because it kind of falls in line with everything else, I do believe it's my professional opinion that it meets the 4 test. So I'm happy to ask any question, answer any questions, and provide any additional feedback that the committee would like me to explore for them. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jerica.
Yep.
Todd, is there anything you want to add?
I don't think so. I'm willing to answer any questions as well that anyone has.
Okay. And then, was there any other comments from residents or?
I did not receive any formal comments. I did hear that the property owner had been discussing the application with their neighbors.
Yeah, I think
But
Sarah has something here.
I have correspondence from 12 neighboring addresses that have no concerns with the proposal.
Perfect.
Okay. Any questions from the committee?
Through you, Deputy Chair, I had a couple of questions. When Napier Street was developed, this became it obviously moved from an internal lot to a exterior corner lot. There should be a daylight triangle identified. What year was the house built? Do we have any record of that? Early 1980s, I believe. Okay. So
I don't have that handy, unfortunately. I did know it at one point in time, but my apologies.
just checking, like under normal circumstances, a corner lot would have a daylight triangle on it. The driveway is encroaching in what would be a daylight triangle with, if this were a new application. Given the added exterior side yard or buffer between the lot line and the curb line, I don't think this is necessarily a tough decision to make. I think it's reasonable.
Yeah, I run some just quick numbers. I think Jerica's numbers made it sound scary, but if you take into account the difference, it's not their property, but if you take into the difference of where the lot line are at, it's only a little over 6 feet that would have been asked for if the property line aligned with the rest of the lots along Napier, so. You know,
Maybe there would be an opportunity for the property owner to ask the town for a lot line adjustment at some point in time in the future if it was necessary.
yep.
If there are no services in there, it should be pretty straightforward, but that's for an engineer or the applicant to voice their concerns and move forward with.
Anything else? Yes, we do a motion. I'll submit the motion to approve.
Second that.
Okay, so we have a motion that the committee approve the application for minor variance file number A18 2022, the Wilkin Lead 295A Avenue South, Plan 185, Part Lot 48, Part Lot 49, RP 44, R302, Part 3, that's the listable ward. All in favor? With that, I pass it back to you, Bruce.
Thanks, Brad. Any other business this evening? Anything else to be covered this evening? No? Thank you. No correspondence? Okay, we will entertain a motion to adjourn. Robert? Second by Bill. All in favor? Carried. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you and have a